Ho, ho, ho. What up? Another Geek Show in the mix. Already here with my main man, Patrick Quinn. What's up, sir?
What's happening, amigo? I just felt like I needed a hat because you got your Venom thing on, and I had a little scrap of wrapping paper on my desk, so
Nice.
I don't know which way looks better. I can make like a little boat hat out of it.
You conspiracy theorist, you.
Yes, the tinfoil. It will keep the lizard beams out of my brain. So what's up, everybody? Tell us where you're watching from. What city, state, region, county? Throw it in the comments down there, because maybe one of your friends is watching too. And we can all be friends, like Art, Eddie, and I. Everyone here is friends. So, all right. Speaking of this hat you got going on, what's our topic tonight?
Yeah, we're talking, we're getting a little nerdy, of course, here on the Geek Show. We're talking about favorite anti-hero. And if you guys tell us why, there's a certain character, it could be good, bad, whatever. Obviously, anti-hero, there is gonna that fine line, that gray area. We're gonna be giving away some copies of Venom, either digital or Blu-ray. Came out on Blu-ray or DVD this week. So we're gonna give that away. So make sure that you stay tuned for that.
And we were just talking about this. This is one of the rare movies that you haven't seen, like freaking opening weekend. You haven't seen it. I haven't seen it either. I feel like we should do a viewing party.
Yes, we should. I love that, man. Rand saying hello. What up, man? Josh was checking in from Cleveland, Ohio. And let's see who else we got in here. It's Olsen saying Venom, definitely nice. Ooh, Casey Jones. Good point right there, man. I didn't see the one where Stephen Amell played Casey Jones in the movie, but when we were growing up, man, that Casey Jones guy, he was pretty badass, right?
Hell yeah. It's funny that he goes straight to Casey Jones. He like skips over a lot of the more popular ones, that people would know right off the bat. So, like, for instance,
right off the bat. Well, what? No pun intended, or was that pun intended?
That was not, but it works so well.
Right. Eugene saying Negan because he takes people to PP Pants City. Nice. Dust checking in from Lubbock, Texas. How far is that away from you, man?
I don't know. I hear of Lubbock. Dustin, I'm in Austin. How far are you from Austin? And when are you going to come up so we can have a pint together? Or down? I don't know if you're up or down.
yeah, I love the fact that I want a picture of like you and everybody in Texas hanging out and having a beer together. We got Joey saying, "Hey, what's up from Roanoke, Virginia?" Here's the thing: Jennifer saying it's a toss up between Venom and Deadpool. Like, yeah, I mean, what for you? Like, what makes an anti-hero? Because I feel like back in the day, like it was just like the Punisher. And that person straddled the line. And back in the day, Venom was just strictly bad. But then the way Marvel in the comics and in this movie, you have that Punisher vibe where it's like there are certain people like Spider-Man, Venom wants to kill, but then there's also things where he'll like try and do what's right. So that's like straddling the line. And one of my favorite character of all time is Wolverine. And would you call him an anti-hero?
I kind of would. If you think about it, him in the comics, in the movies, not so much. In the movies, he's a hero with just like a surly side. In the comics, though, my man did not really care about killing people. And like when he went berserker style, Like there was no gray area between good and bad. He just took out whoever was there. And that's the question. You're right. Like some of it's sanitized for the movies. So
Sir Lorraine, I like it.
But like the movies have sanitized some of the guys to like give them these like softer edges or whatever it is. But people like the Punisher, and for them it's like it was straight up like I remember reading the Punisher and I was too young to really grasp it. Reading it, thinking he was like a hero, and then being kind of disturbed on the inside, being like, oh man, like I don't know if that's right. And I think that's what makes an anti-hero. If you're questioning whether his tactics to get his like goals or to avenge someone or whatever it is it gray or is it like, man, that was not right? So
yeah,
I think that's what you have to say.
I think you hit the nail on the head with the whole movies thing. I know you haven't seen Logan yet, right?
No, I didn't see. Well, wait, no, Logan. Like, wait, Logan's when he's older, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. Oh man, that was so good. And so that one was not sanitized.
Yes, because Jay agrees with, like, especially in Logan, that was, that was from the comics, man. Like, that was like everything you were saying. Everyone was glad it was like rated R, or I think, yeah, it was rated R. Like, that to me was one of the best Wolverines. And Hugh Jackman played that guy, played him to a T. So I love that. Yeah. So,
dude, I would say, beyond it being a great superhero movie, that was just a great movie. Like that movie was phenomenal. If anybody hasn't seen Logan, you got to go out there and see it. So Jay, you're right. Like, that is not a sanitized version of Wolverine. I'm thinking about the X-Men franchise that's kind of made for younger, to try and hit as many demographics as they can. Logan went straight up like old school and yeah, pretty graphic. So what's up, Joe?
Chubb's weighing in saying John Constantine from DC. If you haven't checked out Legends of Tomorrow, the actor who plays him does a pretty good job. But then even in the comics, he's more, again, like, I think, like, you're right. Like, there's that theme of, like, if you're on TV or in the movies, except for like Logan and Deadpool, there is that like, all right, we're gonna kind of water that person down just so everybody can get it. But Constantine's a really good one. Okay, Matt's saying Wolverine. Is Hancock a comic book hero? Because he just doesn't give a ish. And he wants to be, because he's the exact opposite. Sweet. Yeah, I would say, like, that's coming off the comic book vibe. So yes, thanks for weighing in, Marty. Edwin saying Deadpool, Venom, and the Punisher.
You ever read Moon Knight?
Yes. Yep.
He was like, I remember getting into arguments back in the day of him being like basically Marvel's Batman, and they did share like a lot of that background where they're both rich guys, doing avenging stuff at night. But he was a lot more Punisher in his avenging, and his whole thing was kind of making up for the mercenary he was when he used to murder people. Like, he used to go out there and be like a for hire killer essentially, but in like combat zones. So his motivations were like to make up for his past, whereas the Batman was like, clearly he's trying to avenge the deaths of his own parents. So so a little bit different, but a lot of similar vibes in there. But I really liked him as a character.
I love that, man. Going for, like, not, I wouldn't say obscure, but like someone who's not into comics might not know him. Well done, man.
Yeah, I don't hope that they're going to make a movie out of him, or just like a cameo or something.
JW says Lobo from the DC comic book universe. A lot of people weighed in saying Punisher. Matthew and Jay are saying Punisher. Frank Castle, because he does what he wants because of the loss of his family. What else we got over here? We got John Constantine. Oh, so Skeletor, like, he's like a straight up villain, right?
Yeah, he's a straight villain. Come on, Corey.
Steph saying Punisher or Deadpool. Zartan from Joe Keller. And then I think someone just tagged someone. What?
You know Zartan? I don't know that one.
I want to. It's funny. Like, when they say Zartan, I'm thinking of Zoltan. Remember from Big?
No, Zoltar.
Yeah, Zoltar. Yeah.
Yes.
Zartan's from G.I. Joe.
And Big, man. I had no idea that it was directed by what's her name, who just died yesterday. I had no clue. And then The Onion posted this thing where it's like, millions of American men find out their favorite movie is directed by a woman, and I was like, guilty. I had no idea. But it wasn't like I didn't think one way or the other. What's that? Yeah, Big.
You're talking about Big, right?
Yeah. Hey, go back a couple of comments. Somebody has a familiar looking logo in his picture. I think you'll appreciate it, Art. Back. There it is.
Oh, nice.
We toyed with having something like that as a Life of Dad logo for a while back. So, but then around it, for some reason, it all looked like 1980s Russian communist propaganda. So we decided to not go with it.
Love Punisher, but started that love on Ghost Rider. Do what you got to do. Yeah, Ghost Rider, man. Like, Ghost Rider is kind of like Spawn too. You ever read Spawn? Todd McFarlane, when he left Marvel and went, like, Spawn is the same thing. I liked his, he made the deal with Devil, so to speak, and like he had that hourglass, and every time he used his power, things would like start winding down. Yeah, that was such a cool concept, man. I love that. So Ghost Rider, Spawn, all of those guys who, you know, made a deal with the devil and it's like, you know, took over and being like, all right, I'm going to own this and I'm going to be a badass and we'll see what happens.
Are they making, I feel like I've heard that they're making another Spawn movie.
I heard that too. And I heard that Jamie Foxx was in it. Like Jamie Foxx, there was like speculation, of course, going on the interwebs because everything on the interwebs is true. Everything you see is true, right?
Absolutely. 100%.
There was a picture like that surfaced like a few days after, like there was a theory that Todd McFarlane was going to be looking to cast Jamie Foxx and like they were having lunch together. So who knows? But I would like to see that because Michael Jai White, who we've had on the Life of Dad show, I think he played Spawn in the original one, I want to say. So I enjoyed the movie. I dug it.
I don't remember. It was so long ago, man. I remember going to see it, and that was one of the first movies I ever had to go see. And it was so full that I sat like front row all the way left. So I was watching the movie like this, and it sucked.
Yeah. So yes. Nowadays you can like pick your seat, right? So you're pretty much all set for that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Pick your seat, have a beer delivered to you, get some nachos. It's fantastic.
All right,
Robert.
I was right.
Flash. I remember reading one Flash comic, and I don't remember what the exact premise is, but something happens with his speed, and he's almost too fast, and he like creates this giant sonic boom, and he's like blasted through with like sticks and stuff that kind of cut through his own body because he was going so fast that things were exploding in front of him, and he was running into it. So I don't know if that was him. But yeah. So.
Yeah, well, that's a good one. Doc Ock, he was a good man whose invention turned him bad. That's another thing too, where it's like, depending on who you read, what comic book, especially like the new game from the Spider-Man, the Sony Spider-Man game for the PS4, you see, you know, him being a good guy, being like a protege to, a mentor to Peter Parker and all that.
Right.
So
that's before he kind of loses his mind, so or like his mind is taken over essentially. So does that make him an anti-hero, or does that just make him a good guy who's now not a good guy, like Two-Face also, you know?
Yes, good point. Yeah, I think I think you got to put those in two different compartments because, like, you know, there's one guy that's like straddling that line, and one guy that used to be good, then all of a sudden is bad. And it's like I don't care anymore.
Right.
This is a good one too. Winter Soldier from Captain America, because I mean, talk about, you know, he used to be Bucky, and then like everyone's like, forget about him. Cap, you got, you know, he's a bad guy now, and then like you find out that he was under hypnosis and all the other stuff. So,
right,
I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen? Would it be him taking over the mantle of Captain America or the Falcon? Some people are saying Captain Marvel even. So we'll see what happens in the. Craig was saying Infinity War. We'll see what happens.
All right, One of my favorite anti-heroes, and I've talked about this book series so many times, and I've got the posters behind me. Cabal. And remember, I don't know if you remember, Art, but we had the author of these books on here. Johannes Cabal, the Necromancer. He is laser focused on his science and his goal of eventually bringing the love of his life back to life. But he is, like, the book, the author describes him as an utter bastard in like the first chapter of the first book. And he totally is. He has no problem killing people who he thinks is beneath him, who is essentially everybody, as long as it like furthers his goal. You know, he never kills good people, you know, in the book, but he definitely is very murderous and just kind of singularly focused on what he wants. So he's a great anti-hero. And if anybody's a book reader on here, and they like funny books. Like I see Victor Aragon on there. Victor, if you haven't read these books, read them. The Johannes Cabal books by Jonathan Howard. So friggin' good. Okay. Hey, Art, I got to get going because I got a sick son. So I will talk to you guys later. All right, man?
All right. Have a good Christmas, man.
Good Christmas to you too and everybody else. So sorry I got to go, but I got a little guy coughing and stuff. So
Life and Dad stuff. You go, man. You go ahead, sir.
Later,
man. All right, so we're gonna kind of finish out. Hey, man, this is true to life right here. Life of Dad stuff. Let's see, Omega Red. Let's see, what else we got over here. Ghost Rider is one of the best MF. Nicolas Cage paid him the best part. What do we got over here? Anthony's kind of saying Ghost Rider as well. A lot of people are, talking about Ghost Rider and all that. Spawn started collecting just after McFarlane did the Spider-Man and started Image. Numerous copies of the first 10 issues. Nice, man. Yeah, because that was when they were doing the variant copies. It was like, Spawn 1, then Spawn 0, Spawn 1A, Spawn 1B, and all of that. And then, like, I think towards when DC did that whole, like, DC 52, New 52, I felt like they just went to, like, variant covers, like, left and right, and you're like, all right, which one am I going to keep? And then there's some were, like, very worth a lot of money, and then some weren't. So I appreciate you sharing that, Mike. What else we got over here? Hellboy. Yeah, anybody else see the trailer that came out with Hellboy? Some people are liking it, some people are not. Some people are like, where's Ron Perlman? He is Hellboy. So I don't know. Green Arrow or Cyborg are anti-heroes. Yeah, especially now. Like, I think we were talking about how in the comics, Green Arrow, like in the comics, they're more like anti-hero than in the shows. But I feel like on the show, they do a really good job of making him, the guy Stephen Amell who plays Green Arrow, the anti-hero. So that's cool. Yeah, Damien, we were talking about Two-Face as well, starting on the right side, then ended up, going to the bad side. Casey saying hi from Sacramento. Yes, in the comic books, Winter Soldier becomes Captain America. Howard the Duck, people are saying that. Harley Quinn. Let's see. Oh, and Casey saying, hope your son feels better. So, we always love everybody's participation here. Thanks again for checking the show out. I think next week we are going to take a break. But yeah, and unfortunately, Patrick can't say goodbye right now because he's taking care of his son. But we'll see you all in 2 weeks. Hope everyone has a great holiday season and a happy new year. I think we'll see you before the new year, maybe not. But thanks always for checking out the show, and we'll see you all later. Peace.